All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get the call started. Drop in the chat where you're calling in from real quick. I know we got New Mexico on the call. What's good, Brandon? How we doing? Drop in the chat where you're coming in from, guys. I'm out in Minnesota. It is a beautiful day out. Hopefully, where you are located is beautiful as well. But I'm super, super excited to get this call going, guys. I'm not going to be speaking for very long, but I am happy to be introducing the speaker of this call. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Josh Amundsen. I'm 28 years old, and I got started in this industry on December 18th of 2018, right? So I believe that's around 7 years or so. I had to sit down and actually look at it, but I fell in love with this industry almost right away. I was just graduating from college. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life yet. I knew I wanted to, be some sort of CEO. I wanted to be some sort of business owner. I wanted to do something big with my life, right? And maybe you guys can relate to that. In my last semester of college, I found this industry, this business that you're in right now. And it was people like the speaker that we're going to have, obviously come up today. It was people like him. When I heard his story and I heard these other, industry legend stories, it started opening up my eye, the third eye of what this could actually be. And I decided to just go all in. I took it serious and I've been doing it full time for 7 years now. So it's been an absolutely beautiful journey. I'm always here to help. If anybody needs help, feel free to reach out directly to me or any of the other, fabulous leaders that are on this call. But with no further ado, we're going to be passing over to the speaker. Super excited to have this guy on the call today. A little bit about this individual for those of you who don't know who he is. He's obviously my number one mentor and a lot of people on this call and tens of thousands of people around the world. He's been in this industry actually for 14 years now, right? I met him when he was 27. I believe he's 34 now. And, he's just impacted hundreds of thousands of people's lives all around the planet. I remember when I first got started, he was like, dude, you have no idea where we're actually going to take this. He's like, we're going to travel the entire world. We're going to impact hundreds of thousands of people's lives. And in the last 7 years, I literally watched him do it. And so he's in the Millionaire Hall of Fame, guys. He's changed so many people's lives. He's successfully built teams of tens of thousands of people multiple times, guys. He's one of the best leaders I've ever met in my entire life. So it was this individual. If I didn't have his mentorship when I first got started in this industry, I would nowhere near be where I am right now. So, what I'll tell you this, okay? Make sure you have a notebook out for this call, okay? Because it's not about what you can learn and what you can do, it's about what you can teach. Because what you can teach is duplicatable, and that's what each and every single one of us are after, right? How are you going to help the people tomorrow if you're forgetting about what you learned today? Okay, so make sure to take notes. Let's get fired up. I see Noah's on the treadmill. Let's get going. But I'm going to pass it over to my guy, Joey Wilson. Guys, drop some ones in the chat for our guy.
Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm 35 and I'll be 36 this year. Time isn't stopping for anybody. That's why you gotta go tunnel vision right now and just get this thing done. It's a 3 to 5 year plan of total commitment, total focus, no plan B, hard charging, whatever it takes. The only way through is through. Be positive, get fired up, and just take action. And if you do that, there's no way you can lose here. It's almost harder to lose if you're doing that. Okay, that's the end of training, guys. I appreciate everybody for hopping on. No, I'm just kidding. But tonight, I will say this. There is an overview in about 50 minutes. I'll put it in the chat. Here's what I'll tell you. I got $100 to whoever gets the most guests on this call. Okay, $100. You have to have 6 or more guests on this call. It's probably going to be a little bit of the honor system here who gets it, but we're going to be able to obviously see who's on this call. This industry is all about taking action. I can get up here and I can train and I can teach and I can tell you my story, and that's all great and that's needed. It's important. But the most important thing you're going to learn is that taking action and falling on your face over and over and over through the invites, through chopping through your story, trying to share this with people, finding people's X factors and figuring out how to close them properly. Just taking action, falling on your face. That's all I ever did. And that starts with these overviews and packing them out. Noah's one of the best in the world at presenting this industry. Okay, not just the information that this company has, but presenting how this industry works and why it's a value to the world and how people can benefit and chase their dreams and goals. And all you guys have to do is invite like crazy for that call. That's extremely important, okay? That's the Akashics overview that we do on Tuesdays. And so I would definitely do that. That's going to be in 50 minutes. Promote like crazy. Whoever gets the most guests on there, I'll throw them $100. But other than that, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Joey Wilson, and I'm from Stillwater, Minnesota, which is a pretty small town, right on the border of Wisconsin and Minnesota. I grew up on the river. We have a thing called Lumberjack Days, where every year you go down to the Stillwater and it's Lumberjack Days because the whole town was built based off of lumberjacks, and pretty cool place to grow up, I will say. And it started for me early on, trying to looking back at my journey. I'm like, because here I am now, 35 years old, and I'm like, the whole world is backwards, what we were taught. Does anyone ever think that? Like, why were we taught those things when it literally does not matter at all? And I remember early on, right? I mean, we were told to go to school for 8 hours a day and then get good grades and then go to college and then get a job. And they wanted you to be a worker bee, right? And I remember just being in third grade. We were in music class and we were playing the xylophones, and you could play whatever you want, but you had to end on G. And my best friend had no clue what we were doing because we were talking through the whole thing. And the teacher, Miss Cyberant, yelled at him and said, Dietrich, why aren't you playing? And he's like, I don't know what to play. And I was laughing so hard. I was crying because I'm like, dude, you can play anything you want. You just had to end on G. And she goes, Joey, get to the par room. And so she sent me to the positive attitude room. Guess who worked in that room? My mom. So here I go. I'm getting in trouble for laughing. And I'm just like, looking back at that, I'm like, dude, I was a third grade kid. And the teacher just screamed at me like that. That is crazy to think about, right? So our circumstances in life kind of shape who we are and shape our reality, shape our perception. But then I got into high school, and I was always kind of a troublemaker in junior high, gotten into high school. Schoolwork for me was even harder. I sucked at tests because I never paid attention. I didn't focus. But again, we were taught, hey, if you want to be successful, you better get good grades. Otherwise, what are you going to do with your life? You're going to be a nobody. And so I heard that enough to think to myself, dude, I might actually be a nobody because I'm actually trying. You know those kids that they actually try and they just can't get through and can't pass, but then there's those kids that don't even try at all and they're just passing, not even a big deal. I was the guy I would actually try and I couldn't get through. And there was a point, Mr. Hamilton, the hockey coach, who was my math coach, walks by me in the hallway. He goes, Wilson, what are you doing here? I thought you got kicked out of school. And I was like, I know that was a joke, but he was half serious. And these things started to, I'm just like, okay, who am I? What am I ever going to be in life if this is who I am? And so my parents didn't know what to do. So they shipped me over to the ALC, the Alternative Learning Center. And here I am now hanging out with idiots, even bigger idiots. My math teacher was right. He's like, what are you doing here in the high school? I didn't belong there because I couldn't even pass. And then I went downhill, right? And now I'm selling weed and this and that. I sold a little bit of cocaine here and there. And actually, I really didn't, but I kept getting a call for it from a dude I worked with. And he kept calling me and calling me. And I'm like, bro, I can't get you. I don't even sell that. Why are you calling me for that? It's so random. All right, man, see ya. And then like a couple weeks later, he called me again. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I can't get you that. Like I was selling mid-grade marijuana on the streets. Like I'm not a cocaine dealer. The last time he called me, I answer it. And I'm like, bro, let me just make a call. I'll check. I'm like, dude, I'm going to get my rent paid for. I was 18, 19 years old. And next thing you know, here I am. I bring him the stuff. He hands me the money. There's 15 cops in my face. And I'm like, hey, listen, you don't have to shoot. I will gladly lay on my stomach, put my hands behind my back, and you guys can, take me in. Obviously, what I did there was illegal, and I take full ownership of that. And my point is, it's just like, I look at it now. I was a 19-year-old kid, and that dude kept pressing me, that informant. He kept pressing me, kept pressing me. I'm like, dude, I don't even sell that stuff. But I feel like now it was entrapment, right? They need to get whoever they can and keep their quotas up. Long story short, I did the time. I got out. I got a job at the gym. And then I met the guy that changed my life forever. And I got in this industry of network marketing. And here I am starting to get access to some of this information, right? And when you get into this industry, people are like, oh, that thing's a pyramid scheme. Don't do it. Or, hey, bro, those things don't work. I promise you. Or look at this article or whatever the case is. And you're just getting bombarded with all this negativity. But for once in your life, you have something positive. You have something where you can actually dream again, because all I ever wanted to do was be a pro snowboarder in junior high. It's all I ever cared about. I went to Trollhagen as many times as I could, um, and snowboarded on the rails and the jumps. And then, we were told to be realistic. And what do you want to go to high school for? What do you want to go to, college for? Or yeah, what do you want to go to college for? What do you want to be when you get older? And so I'm just like, this is the industry. When I saw it, this is it. Be my own boss, choose my hours, all those things, leveraged income. But people are telling me it's a scam. And then I'm just like, how? How could you tell me it's a scam? Like, you don't say anything about me working at LA Fitness, selling a membership to LA Fitness when most people that get a membership never lose a pound. Like, I'm not a scammer for that. Why am I a scammer to sell an educational platform, or even when I used to just sell dream trips, just the travel portal, and you could build a team? Why can't I build a team of business just like any CEO can? And so, people that don't see this and like, oh, you guys are idiots. You guys are scammers. What did you just see? How does your brain think like that? Because we were taught that. That's what we were taught. We were taught to be skeptical. We were taught to be worker bees. We were taught to just do what we are told, right? And so I started to think to myself, and then I told my mentor, this is probably 3 months into the industry. I said to him, I said, it seems like the whole world is backwards. Because in school, like, the main point is, dude, we got to survive. We have to survive. And we are literally taught a system that is broken, and nobody is really winning. And people are, they go to school, they get their job, they're working the 9 to 5, they're driving, they hate sitting in traffic, they hate going to work, they hate some of the people they work with, they don't like their paycheck, they don't like their boss, they don't like being told what to do, they don't like, oh, I get PTO, or oh, I get 30 minutes for lunch. They get pissed if I take longer than that. Like, all these things. Who would want to do that? Hell no. We're God's highest form of creation. You can have whatever you want on the planet. So how can I find an opportunity where I can have complete freedom? And I just started thinking, dude, everything outside of this industry is a scam. And I just want to show you one video real quick that I saw on TikTok the other day. And at 35 years old, I resonate with this video more than I ever have. And this is the exact thing I started thinking when I was 22 years old, just getting in this industry. So I will advance. No, let me see. Boom. Share sound. Okay, I'll play this video real quick and then we'll go from there.
It's a scam. Do you feel like everything is a scam? I just keep saying, sounds like a scam to me. Literally everything. Look around. It's all a scam. Everything we've been taught, everything we're playing into, the taxes that we're paying, the things that we're doing, the news that we're seeing, everything that we're watching, doing, hearing, all of it is a scam. Do you feel this way? I am so fed up. I'm done.
If you read the comments in that and how many people agree and how many people are like, life is a pyramid scheme, life is a Ponzi scheme, we're just a pawn in the game. And I'm like, dude, it is so true and more apparent than ever before. And that's why it's so important to step up for yourself and go chase something where you can bet on you to go win, not bet on the system to help you win, right? Because we're designed to win by God, but we're programmed to lose in the system. We're literally programmed to lose. They want you to stay down. They don't want you to win financially and go have a very successful life. They want you to be in the system, right? And if you start looking into it, how many scams are out there? Financial scams, just for one of them. Credit cards, the interest they charge people should be illegal. They should be in prison. Car leases, 401ks or mutual funds, the amount of hidden fees that are in there that eat away at your returns. Lottery and gambling, that's a tax on the poor. Extended warranties, usually never worth it to get, but pure profit for companies. Bank fees, paying banks to hold your money is insane. And especially when they're already leveraging it out and earning on it, right? Low interest savings account, you're just sitting there losing money to inflation every single day. That's just some of the financial. I'm not even getting into all the other crazy traders domain and all these different things that are out there that are scamming people. How about mindset or media? The mainstream news. It's fear mongering. They want division. They want manipulation, right? Mindless scrolling, the dopamine addiction to you just looking at entertainment. They want you just to be entertained, right? The school system. They teach you how to be an employee. not how to build wealth. Well, if they're teaching you how to be an employee, W-2 is the lowest paid and highest taxed. It's the worst way to go out there and earn. And you're not getting any leverage. It's all you, and it's cut massively by the taxes. The small little check that's there because job stands for just over broke, right? Who's with me? Is this making sense at all? Let me see this chat. Health and wellness, seed oils, canola oils, soybean. Like these are things that are linked to inflammation and disease. These things kill people. Processed sugars, hidden in almost everything. Fatigue, brain fog, disease, right? Candles, air fresheners, tap water, microplastics, fast food, packaging, toxic skincare, makeup. Let's see, the social society scams, 9 to 5 grind, sold as success, work 40 years and retire off 40% of your income. That's a broken model that is not working, that people are still teaching. Yet this is the pyramid scheme, right? The healthcare system, the profit in healthcare systems for the doctors, and then the medical sales reps that are getting kickback from the doctors. And I mean, you could just Google the amount of doctor scams, whether it's a dentist or someone treating cancer or whatever it is, right? There was a doctor that just got 45 years in prison for giving hundreds of people chemotherapy when they never even needed it, right? There's just sickos out there doing scams all over the place. And life is just simply designed to keep you in your comfort zone, right? We've been told that our whole life. Play it safe, right? It's normal to live off of credit card debt, right? Don't keep up with the Joneses. And when I got in this industry, I started thinking to myself, dude, the whole world is backwards. The whole world is backwards and everyone is trying to scam you. And then I saw that video the other day and I see them all the time. What, like the world is a scam. Me and my husband, we're just trying to make ends meet. What do? We both work decent jobs, but we still can't make it work. And I'm just like, dude, the poor, the middle class is getting wiped out more than it ever has before. And my mentor always used to say that in front of the stage. He goes, guys, get it figured out now. Do not get stuck in that middle class trap, because middle class is just getting wiped out more and more every single day. You want freedom in your life. And if you want freedom, you need to escape the matrix. You need to get out of that thinking, right? That's been keeping you stuck. And so I just look at all that. And I was telling Britt the other day, my wife, I was just like, it's just crazy to me how we are being scammed all over the place. And there's facts that these things, like there's facts that the seed oils are giving people cancer and inflammation. There's facts on all this stuff. There's data on all this stuff. Alcohol, right? But what we do, we're told all the time, is a pyramid scheme. And I'm like, dude, that's what they want you to think. Because why? Because they don't want you to win. They don't want you to seek an opportunity where you can flourish financially and hide under the radar and live your life in peace and freedom, right? This is the purest form of capitalism. And people that say that this doesn't work, they just didn't put in the work to see it through. It's as simple as that, because this absolutely works. And it's crazy to me that I get on these calls and there's 100 of you on here on a beautiful night just willing to listen to me. And I'm just like, dude, I'm an average dude, just like everybody else. I just wanted this thing bad enough. And I was willing to run through a brick wall to get it done. Because what is the other option? To be stuck in the system? Dude, there's no way. And early on, when I started being told what to do by the school teachers, by the bosses at my job, I'm like, dude, I don't want a teacher. I don't want a boss. I don't want anybody telling me what to do. I want to do what I want to do with my family, and that is it. And so I know when people look at me these days, whether it's on stage or whatever, they're like, oh, dude, I can see it's working for you. But I'll be honest with you, nothing with what I have done to this point has anything to do with my last name. It has nothing to do with the prestigious school that I went to. It has nothing to do with the massive influence that I had when I first got started. I started at the bottom of this industry, same comp plan as everybody else, same products as everybody else. And I had to just climb the mountain. And was it easy? No, but it's better. It is better in my opinion. A lot of you on this call have hobbies or you have passion projects, right? This is just a means to an end. Maybe you love network marketing wholeheartedly and passionately, and you want to do this for the rest of your life. Maybe you want to do this because you want to build up some residual income so you can quit your job and free up more time for that passion that you have. Maybe you want to use this to help fund another business that you want. I don't know what your goal is, but this is a great means to an end because to be honest with you, the residual income that comes in and the business expenses that goes out, by the time the taxes come, we have a lot of good tax benefits in this industry and it's pretty lenient, and talk to your accountant about it, but it gets kind of crazy. And then obviously the more money you start to make, what do you think the wealthy people up top have? They have tax strategies for you to pay zero tax. Okay, real estate. So now you build this portfolio, you find a couple of studs like Josh and Jay who helped us go seven-figure earner and they went six-figure earner, and I stacked that money and I put it away in this lake home. What's cool about this lake home is by the time this is said and done, it's going to be an infinite cash cow. I'm building this not just to live in it, but create a wellness experience retreat for people that want to come here and enjoy the house. And the tax benefits of that, offsetting my network marketing income, hundreds of thousands of dollars because of the cost segregation studies that they can do, the depreciation that they can do, and then the cash flow that comes in with the appreciation of the property. It's an infinite cash cow. I'm like, dude, why not just build a mansion up on a lake for free? That's cash flows infinitely with the money I use in network marketing. And instead of spending the money I use in network marketing on depreciating assets, put it into a lake home that I can use part-time, rent out part-time, use for my team part-time, and you can literally build your dreams around you. And that's what I decided to do. But that only happened because I got into this industry of network marketing, right? And it's 100% possible for every single person on this call to go make it happen. It's just the reality is it's not going to happen for everybody at the highest level because stats are the stats. But there's a couple of you on this call right now that are, when I got in this company, when Thayer got in this company, he led a movement, right? He led a little wave, and they built up a decent organization, and they have good products here, and that they started crushing it. And then Ali came, and then Thayer was able to. He was the lead geese, and he was able to come back. He just went on that run, and then Ali took the lead, and then I came, and then I took the lead of the headwinds for them to kind of drop back, and like they just went on their initial run. And then we brought in Josh and Jay, and then they took the lead, the headwinds, right? That's how this works. It's teamwork. We all get to work together. And then Noah comes in, same thing, takes the headwinds, create another six-figure earner right there. And then there's more people, Andrew and Charlie, right? And Cade and Carson and Tippa and so many of you that have taken the lead. And there's a couple of you on here. There's more of you on here. And I don't know who you are, but there's a few of you on here that are going to take the lead. And you're going to create that new wave. You're not going to wait for me. You're not going to wait for Noah to do the calls. You're not going to wait for Josh and Jay to freaking hit up your line and say, dude, let's effing go here. You have to step up and say, bro, my dreams are more important than me chilling. My why is so strong that no matter what anyone says in my life, I am going for it. And I'm going to be the one that's going to go hit the next top rank in this company. It's 100% possible. And I don't know who that's going to be. But I get excited to see these young up and comers get on these calls, start producing, start getting fired up. Then next thing you know, we meet them in Fort Lauderdale. You get on the yachts and we start helping them brand their story. So guys, we can win. We can do whatever it takes to make sure you become a six-figure earner if you want it bad enough and if you're willing to put it in the work. And this is what we look for, okay? Because there's 3 keys to being unstoppable. And I want you to write these 3 keys down. Number 1 is a great attitude. It's a great attitude. For me, I always just try to stay positive no matter what. You guys know that. I've said that. I've been saying that for 13 years. No matter what happens to me in this business, because to go from the beginning to 100,000 a month or 200,000 a month or whatever to top earner, it is craziness. You have to find solutions. You have to make people happy. You have to help people. You have to support the new teams coming in. You have to find solutions. You have to be even keeled. You have to have the emotional intelligence. But just having a great attitude is such a separator from the masses of the world. And it's so easy to see who the people are in our organization that have a great attitude. Number 2 is improve daily. Improve daily, getting out there, doing the presentation, falling on your face. That's how you're going to learn. Ripping little trainings, right? Doing fast start trainings for the new people that you're bringing on, even if you're chopping your way through it. All right, step number one, yeah, have fun. Oh yeah, so Joey used to say this, have fun. The more fun you have, the more money you make. You're just gonna chop your way through it, but you have to get good at it. Get good at inviting, get good at telling your story, and get good at a fast start training. And if you can do those things, you can freaking take this as far as you want to. But just improve daily. Listening to good YouTube videos, whether that's from Ed Milet, Patrick Bet David. You guys can type some in the chat. Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Eric Thomas. Who are some of your favorite people to listen to? Earl Nightingale, right? Matt Morris is a great one. He teaches pretty much just network marketing. If you want to know the nuts and bolts of network marketing, nobody on YouTube does it better than Matt Morris. Morton's another one. He's a good friend of mine. He's one of the top earners in the industry. And so again, it's just improving daily. And I'm talking all areas of life. When I wake up in the morning, a lot of you guys know, a lot of you guys are on the same mission as I'm on. That's why a lot of us connect so well. And that's why we're boys, because when you wake up in the morning, you're focused on that mission. It just, boom, dreams. Let's chase them. What's next? What's the to-do list today? Well, for one, I need to slam a big bottle of water. Okay. Number two is I need to go hit the gym and get a good pump, not just for the muscles, but for the mindset. I need to improve my mindset daily, starting off on the right foot, crushing a heavy workout. It blows my mind if people don't do that daily. I don't understand it. I never will. But that is probably the most important life changer in my life. Dude, I got locked up for a year in county, a year and a half in Teen Challenge. People are like, oh, dude, I bet Teen Challenge changed your life. The reset, being in there for a year and a half, yes, that kind of helped change my life, but I hit the gym every day in there. And that's what gave me mental clarity to fight and get through the BS that was in there, living on a floor, a small floor with 60 drug addicts and homeless people for a year and a half. I hit the gym every day, sometimes twice a day, because it just helped my mental. Okay, improving every day. When you're at the gym, what are you listening to? Are you listening to something that's inspiring you? And that can be rap. Whatever's inspiring you. Personal development, right? It could be worship music. I don't know what it is for you, but I'm at the gym and I'm listening to something that's inspiring me or informational. Reading a chapter of a good book. Again, we talk about these things all the time, but improving daily, all aspects. And then number three is just outworking everybody around you. Outworking everybody around you. And if you do that long enough, do you not think we would notice? That's what I did to get on David Peach's radar, for him to look at me and say, dude, you're the real deal. You got no holes in your bucket. You're training at the next Super Saturday. And then I trained at that next Super Saturday and I was so freaking scared. And I'll never forget it. The first song they played, the song they played for me was, all I do is win, no matter what. And I was freaking out. I was up on the stage with a microphone, a note card, a bottle of water, and a clicker. And I'm like, dude, I can't hold all these. I'm freaking the hell out right now. And then I did so bad. I literally told like a 30-second story, sweating bullets. And then I'm like, oh, all right, my story's over. Now I need a training. And I pulled out the note card and I'm like, be all you can be. Thanks, guys. And I put it back in my pocket. I was freaking out. And I went to a leadership dinner later that night, and a guy looked at me and he goes, Joey, after your training today, David Peach looked at David Helgeson and they gave a high five and they said, we got another one. And they came up to me and said, you're going to be the next trainer at the next regional event in Minneapolis. And I was like, I literally botched everything up there, but okay. But I got on the radar. I had a great attitude every single day. I improved. I was on every single training call. I was on every single telephone training thing that they did every single week with the company. Freeconferencecalling.com, where a new rising star would get on and share their story. I would go to every single training. I would read all the books. I have all the books. I have multiple copies of all the books. Okay, I'm not the biggest reader, but then listening to personal development, if you saw my YouTube history, you would be like, this dude has like quadruple mastered in YouTube University in many areas, right? Finance, some in real estate, network marketing, personal development, gym, things that I like to learn because that's the type of person I am, which is why I relate to a lot of people on this call. Is I never was good in school in that type of stuff, but I could hyper focus and hyper learn things that were interesting to me, things that are actually worth learning, right? Things that are actually important to learn, like how to go out there and actually make money and what to do with the money when you make it and all these different things. So those are the three keys to being unstoppable. And I didn't make those three up. There is a guy that he's got to be pushing probably 400, 500 million. You could type it in the chat if you know what it is. But Patrick Bet David, he owned a company in this industry and he sold it for a couple $100 million later. He's, one of the biggest podcasts, one of the most well-respected business people in America right now. And he's the one who talks about that. And I remember listening to his training and just a great attitude every single day. He said, 2 years, work your freaking ass off for 2 years in the marketplace and you will be paid for it. 2 years of going all in. The market rewards people who outwork and out improve. It's proven, right? This doesn't mean you're going to be a millionaire in the next 2 years. But what this does mean is your market value is increasing and you want to be an asset to Josh Zwagel in this company, right? I want to be an asset. If I want to be a top earner in network marketing, I want to be an asset to Josh. So when he thinks of Joey Wilson, what does he think of? Dude, that dude's focused. He's always showing the deal. He's always leading with integrity. He does the right thing, even when, it might go slower. He loves this industry. He loves making an impact. Or is he saying, dude, he's always bitching and complaining. He doesn't have a great attitude. Is he outworking everybody? I don't know. He's not really doing a whole lot. No, that's not what he's thinking. I hope to God not, right? So what are people thinking about you? And so I had to fight to get into those rooms with my great attitude, with improving every single day, and then going out to work and making it happen, right? And I'll play one more video here because I think it's important and I wanted to play it in Germany. But I saw this and I'm like, bro, this is gold right here. I mean, if you just listen to this one message, everything else I say doesn't even matter. This is all I need to hear. And this is the truth 100% because this is coming from someone that thinks outside of the box and went and became a billionaire from scratch. So check this out. Wait, whoa, wrong one. Stop. Right here. Boom.
There's this thing about people and they talk about manifesting. It's fucking real, man. Manifesting is real. When you figure out who you are and what you want to do and you devote your life to it like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing and you manifest, most of these people end up, doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become. It's real. And there's no excuses. There's no fucking days off. There's no, everybody's against me and this didn't happen for me because of this and that and all this whining. It's these people who dive in and they're hardcore and they're focused and they know what they want. They know who they are and they lay out these short-term goals and this roadmap on how to get there. Most of those people make it.
I mean, if that's not it, if that's on it, I don't know what is. You got to be a menace, hardcore after your goals and dreams. And you possess out of life what you obsess. And I obsess with the brand new Range Rover, long wheelbase. I obsess with the lake home. I obsess with the resort style compound in Scottsdale, Arizona. I obsess about these things. I don't know why. I just do. But materials aren't everything, right? But for me, they're goal markers to say, hey, I'm on the right track. But I'm obsessed with just giving my family a great life. And, I know Tippa heard this for the first time the other day, but good is the enemy of great. And I don't want just a good life. I want a great life. I want to be able to help the people around me. If my parents, God forbid, ever get sick, I know they don't have the extra funds to be able to deal with something catastrophic. It's all good. I heard a trainer say that when I was like 23. She was up on stage and she's like, I know there's no one in my family that is gonna be able to help someone in my family when something crazy happens. And I am gonna be that person in my family. And I'm like, dude, that's so true. That's me because I have the energy, I have the belief, and I have the opportunity. I don't care if they don't see the vision or if they have that personality. I'm going to take care of it for my family. As the man in my family, I'm going to be the one that can step up and make it happen, right? I think that's important. And so that's why every single day I'm working on improving myself. I'm hitting the gym. I'm showing the deals. I'm talking to leaders. I'm putting out storms. I'm trying to find strategies and solutions for, how to launch this leader in Turkey. He's in Thailand. And then we have people in countries launching, and I don't even know these countries even existed. And it's just constantly pushing to move the needle every single day that I wake up. And that's why I talk about it's 1,000 days. It's 1,000 days of going all in, of tunnel vision, because I'd rather spend 1,000 days of sprinting and just getting the money thing taken care of rather than working for somebody else for 40 years of my life and then retiring off of 40% of my income that I couldn't even live on when I was working. And then you take one major vacation, maybe, if you're lucky, and then you die. And it's like, dude, hell no. Again, we're God's highest form of creation. We can do anything we want on this planet. If you believe it in your mind, it's already done. So get that crystal clear vision of what you want your life to look like. What kind of house do you want to live in? And then, even more specific, open your eyes. What does your master bedroom look like, right? Do you have the corner unit in your mansion that opens up the pocket doors out to the ocean with your boat sitting out there, and you can walk out there and you see the early morning fishermen cruising by, right? And you walk into your closet. What type of clothes do you have? What does your house smell like? What does your spouse look like? What do your kids look like? When you open the garage door, what kind of cars are sitting in there? Are you thinking about these things? Because listen, 90% of your thoughts are the exact same every single day. 90%. And there's some people on this call that are extremely positive and that are thinking about their dreams and goals and that are going after it. But then there's some people on this call that they can't get out of their own way. And all you guys think about is, dude, I'm broke, man. I can't. How am I supposed to get to that event? Or, I barely can pay my car bill. All these things. And it's every day. Because dude, I get it. It's tough. It can be tough, but you got to get out of that cycle. You have to replace those thoughts with that aren't serving you and replace them with thoughts that are serving you. Your dream life. I don't care how bad your life is right now. Okay. There is way worse out there, but you have the opportunity right here, right now to step up and completely change your reality in the next 24 months if you really, really want to. So be careful, take inventory. What are you thinking? What are those 90% thoughts? And start getting rid of the junk and filling it up with shit that actually matters, what you want your life to look like, right? And then we put forth the action every single day, okay? Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of the people that I idol more than if I think of a superhero in life, Arnold is one of those guys, a dude from Austria who was in the army, who is sneaking in the kitchen to eat more meals to get more jacked, and then he was sneaking off to bodybuilding shows. And they eventually let him out of the army because he was winning all his bodybuilding shows. And his goal was to move to America. He said, my plan A was to move to America and become the #1 bodybuilder in the world. There was no other plan B for me. He said, I've never had a plan B on any of my missions. And he became the Mr. Olympia time and time and time again. He's the best bodybuilder in the world. He's the Babe Ruth of bodybuilding, right? And then he said, I want to be the best actor in the world. And he became one of the best actors. And then he said, I want to be the governor of California. And that was his sole mission. That was his plan A. He didn't have a plan B. Same with me when I got in this industry. I did not have a plan B. Arnold says, if you have a plan B, you're just giving yourself something to rely on or fall back on. But the people that only have that plan A, they move a little bit differently. They move with a little more freaking pep in their step because this is it. It's sink or swim, baby. And that's the way we like it. And so one question I have for you today on this call is, do you want this to work? Do you want to get to $25,000 a month in residual income and earn money, a lot more money trading? If you're building that type of residual income, you can make a lot more trading when you have 25 bands a month coming in, 50 bands a month, right? Some people are like, I'm just going to trade. I'm like, dude, you make like $3,000 a month and you say you don't even have any money and you just want to trade. How about you build the business too and you'll actually have more money to trade with? You know what I mean? Some people, that's why I build to trade instead of trade to build. But that's a whole nother conversation. But my question is, do you want this to work? And if you say yes, I will see you in Fort Lauderdale. It's as simple as that. And that's what my mentor told me. Because I told him, I said, bro, I got so many people on my team that are giving me excuses. I could have had an excuse. I didn't have the money. I had to borrow my girl's credit card and her mom's van. Okay? I had to figure it out. But there's so many people on my team that are making excuses. And he's just like, ask them this. Do you want this to work? And if they say yes, I'll see you there. Simple as that. If you're not there, you don't want it to work. But if you guys want to get on my radar, if you want to get on Josh and Jay's radar, if you want to get on Noah's radar, if you want to get on the leadership radar, Thayer, Ali, you got to be there. Whatever it takes. And then you got to get resourceful and fight to get other people there. Most people aren't resourceful. You are resourceful. You can figure it out. But most people are complainers and whiners and excuse makers. Help them become resourceful to figure it out. Whatever it takes. Why? Because the $1,000 that they're going to spend to come to this event will get them to $2,000 a month in residual income, We'll get them to $5,000 a month in residual income. So would it be worth it then? Because that's what this big event's going to do. You're going to make a big decision at this event because you're going to see the fire that is inside this room and what's happening with this company and what Josh Zwagel is about to drop. And so if you're not registered yet, mydailychoice.com/events, I make no money off you guys coming to this event. I make money off of you guys going out there building massive organizations. But I know if you don't go to the event, guess what's going to happen in 6 months? I'll never see you again. The people that don't go to the events will quit. Can anyone vouch for me on that have been in for a little while? You guys know what I'm talking about. Sometimes people are like, I don't want to push my friend. He's, he already paid a lot of money to get started. He doesn't have much. Bro, push him in or push him out. Because if they don't come to the event, they're probably quitting anyways. And so you got to just push them in or push them out because it's life changing. And I believe if you pour your money into your wallet, your brain will fill up your wallet. And that's what Warren Buffett said, the #1 investor of all time. So mydailychoice.com/events. If you want to make it work, I'll see you guys there. And so get a crystal clear picture of what you want your life to look like, reverse engineer it, take action, improve every single day, do personal development, and have a great attitude and outwork everybody around you. And if you do those things, the next 2 years, you improve your value in the marketplace. The universe is going to recognize that and naturally lift you up. And it's what happened for me. And I'm just, again, an average kid from a small town with above average goals and dreams that has effed up more times than I can count. But when it was time for me to get serious, I dialed in and I hyper focused on this industry and I became obsessed with getting to the top ranks. Because at those top ranks is where my dream life relies, right? I've been happy regardless with no money and a lot of money. But I look at life kind of like a video game. A lot of people like to sit and waste their life in a video game because the reality in a video game is actually better. Well, why not just do it hard now, sacrifice now so you can have an easy life later that is incredibly dope and you can beat the video game. And here we can get to ranks and get to new levels and new heights that comes with new opportunities, that comes with yachts, that comes with photo shoots, that comes with stage time, that comes with just amazing stuff. Lay down beds on Delta international flights across to Dubai to a leadership retreat. Like life gets crazy. Lake homes, whatever you want if you're willing to do those things. So guys, I'm fired up. I'm excited. We have 10 minutes until this call. I hope you can, and I hope you do invite like crazy for this call. Whoever has 6 or more, and whoever has the most guests on this call, I'm going to throw you guys $100 for doing so. So I appreciate you for hopping on this call. That being said, one more thing, Super Saturday. Josh, do you want to just come on here and share what's happening, when the Super Saturday is? I know we don't have the for sure location yet, but up here, if you're in the Midwest, we're doing a Super Saturday on the 20-something.
Yeah. Just real quick. We're going to be holding a Super Saturday in Minnesota, June 28th. It's going to be at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay. This is where Joey, Matt, Jay, Tippa, a bunch of the different leaders out in Minnesota are going to be sharing. Also in Scottsdale, Arizona, they're holding the same exact thing in other places around the world and around the country, guys. So that is going to be so important this coming Saturday for each and every single one of you to attend. I'm going to be dropping the info here in the next 24 hours or so. But yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
I love it. And I just want to add to that. Find people in your community to run with and build with and brainstorm with. The other day, I didn't want to drive 2.5 hours down to the cities to come to these guys' event in Minneapolis. But I was like, I got to just show up. And so I went down there, drove all the way down, went into this warehouse. Lights were off. The thing was completely empty and kind of awkward. Carson was ripping the front half, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking around. I'm like, bro, this is a little sketch. I'm not gonna lie. We're in this freaking warehouse here with the lights off, talking crypto exchanges, like something. But at the end of that event, I left that meeting, 13 years in the industry, and I was freaking like, bro, I am fired the hell up because there was like 8 people in that room that came up to me and just shared their stories, shared their experiences, how fired up they are, what they took from that event. And it was an hour long, just choppy little overview presentation that actually ended up turning into, I'm like, bro, we got people all over Dakota County building. We have people up in the Detroit Lakes and coming up towards Brainerd where I'm at. We have people growing like crazy that are fired up and excited. I'm so glad I went to that event to meet some of those people. The Super Saturdays are even better than that. And so get with the community, whatever that takes. Get to a Super Saturday, get to Fort Lauderdale, stay around the fire, stay fired up, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the overview. Let's get it, guys. Peace.
Ooh, let's go, baby.
All right, all right. So, guys, drop some ones in the chat. Hey, we got this one. Go up. Come on.
And they stay there.
All
And they say yeah.
right, DJ Josh, cut the beat, please. Please and thank you. Guys, drop some ones in the chat if you guys got some value from Mr. Joey Wilson every single time he hops on. Such amazing value, such great energy. But honestly, guys, being in proximity with someone like him with, decade plus years of experience and value and impact that he's had is just a blessing in itself, And if you guys were struggling to get on this call, it's because we reached max capacity and people were fighting to get spots in. So that's always amazing to see. But if you don't know who I am, guys, there's going to be some special announcements. So don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. And we have a surprise guest speaker coming up. All right. She's going to be talking about, her story a little bit, why it's so crucial to be at the Breaking Boundaries Fort Lauderdale event. But let me tell you guys a little bit about my experience with events, okay? I've been in this game for about 5 years, and I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys because those of you that have not been to company events before, you guys, it's hard to understand the impact that it will have for your own journey, for your team's journey, and I understand. Okay, but this is from personal experience, so take it as you will. Me being in this space, I was a little ignorant, a little bit, not coachable and teachable towards the beginning, a couple of years, and I was floating between like 500 to $1,000 per month in income. Eventually I got to a baseline of 1,000, and I was trying to fluctuate and grow higher from there. But until I went to my first company event, right, about 1 year, no, it was about a year and some change ago, until I went to my first one, guys. That event changed everything for me. I was able to get a good amount of my team there. And then approximately a year after that, my income went from, about $1,000 a month, right? And I reached my first six-figure rank within Akashex. Okay. And that is no fluff. I honestly, looking back, I don't know how it happened, but you can attest and you can attribute that success, that momentum, because everything that we do in this business, guys, is delayed, right? When we go to these events, it creates massive momentum because people create massive decisions. They make massive, massive decisions to go and change their life for the better. And they get the value and the knowledge and the skills equipped to go and do so. All right, so this next speaker, oh, audio is clear. Okay, cool. Well, as long as you guys can hear me. But this next speaker, guys, this is someone who is super, super inspirational to not only, but thousands of other people. And she is our very own educator. And she's out in Seattle. If you guys have not met her, you will meet her in Fort Lauderdale. If you don't know, now you know. Miss Arabella Angeles, please come up to the stage and take the mic.
Thank you so much for that, Tippa. I was just rushing to send a signal. I was just like, oh my God, I hope I send this right before you call me up here, but the job got done. I hope you guys are taking that signal. But hello, you guys. Such a pleasure to see every single one of you guys all on here. And I just want to share a little bit about my experience before I really emphasize the Florida event. I remember the first event I ever went to. All of my leaders told me time and time again that if I go to this, my business will blow up. If I go to the event, that my trading and my emotions will improve, that I will get all of this value from the experts that I'll see in person. And to be honest with you guys, like, I didn't believe them. And by the way, they ended up being right. So I was the one in the wrong. But I didn't believe them because, like, what we do is online. So I thought in my head, like, can I get that same value but online? But the true answer to that is no, because the energy, you guys, the proximity around you guys is going to be so different. You will always hear that high income, or I'm sorry, high energy equals high income, and that is 100,000% true. Florida will be transformational, you guys. You don't ever want to miss a single event, okay? And it starts with Florida. So if this is your first event, you have to go, because at the end of the day, there's 3 C's of life. This is something I wanted to talk about. There's choices, chances, and changes. You must make a choice to take a chance or your life will never change, you guys. Growth and comfort does not coexist. In order for you to change, you must put yourself in an uncomfortable position. So even if it takes you guys being uncomfortable just for a little bit to go to Florida, that is the change that's happening. You guys literally have to go. Because if you guys don't go, it's like you telling yourself that you don't want to level up, you don't want to change, you don't want to do this, you don't want to learn. When you guys, if you want to hit those certain incomes, like we just heard Joey on this call, he's someone so inspirational. If you want to get to that position, you guys need to go to the event, learn from him. You have to learn from people and positions that you guys want to be in, okay? Go to Florida, meet people you've never met before, network with high valued individuals, be broke for a little bit. But change is going to not be instant, but it will sure be worth it, you guys. So you have to put yourself in that position to where change can happen. The people that you surround yourself with is going to be who you guys become. Type a one in the chat if you guys have heard that before. Because you guys, it's a fact. If you have $1 million mindset, you can't surround yourself with 1 cent minds. You coming to Florida means you're going to surround yourself with 6 to 7 figure earners. You're going to surround yourself with people who are going to empower you, support you, okay, motivate you, inspire you, people who have the same mission as you. Your environment shapes you more than you guys think. Nothing will change if you change nothing. So start, you guys. Make sure you book your flight, okay? Get your tickets for Florida, and I'll definitely see you guys there. And I do want to show you guys the Florida poster. If you guys have not seen it yet before, let me share my screen here. Let's see. You guys, look at this. Look at this lineup of people. You guys, we have Josh on here, Joey, Matthew, Ali, Jay. Every single one of the leaders you want to hear from is on this poster. Imagine if you guys have been inspired, or if you've heard them talk through these team trainings, imagine the energy that you will feel in person. Being in the room, just listening to this, being able to have those private conversations where you're networking with them, learning from them. You guys, this is everything. This is going to be such a game changer. The first event that I ever went to was at this Eric Warrior studio. It was not the first one, but the my biggest first one, I would say. It was the first convention I went to, and I remember just sitting down and the energy around me. Like I've never been in a room filled with so many people who had the same goals as I do. There's a total of 82 participants on this call. There was 100 of people on this call when I joined in, and imagine like we all have the same goals. We all want to learn. We all want to be coachable, be a student. Imagine all of us sitting in one room together. You guys, imagine proximity is so powerful. You just need to surround yourself with those type of people, and that's going to be the energy, okay, the value, the gems that you're going to receive when you go to Florida. I'm not going to say if you go to Florida because I hope to see every 82 of you guys at the event. And for you guys to book your tickets as well, I want to also share this with you, okay? It's going to be, and I hope you guys are all doing this. I don't know if you guys jump on my live sessions, but the thing I always preach so much on my live sessions is half the screen is gonna be me. You're gonna follow everything I'm doing, and half the screen is gonna be your chart. I hope half the screen is you, and this is what you guys are gonna do. You're gonna log into your back office, you guys, okay? You're gonna sign into your My Daily Choice account. Here's the Breaking Boundaries event. You're gonna press buy ticket, and you're gonna do everything and anything you can to buy this ticket. You guys, as soon as you buy this, take a screenshot of this call, okay? Take a screenshot of you purchasing your ticket and drop it into the chat, and you are going to tell yourself that now you're all in. Now you're choosing to succeed in here. Now you're choosing to grow your business bigger and better. Now you're choosing to be the profitable trader that you desire to be. You guys, that is what's going to be the definition of you coming to this event, you guys. So if I didn't emphasize this enough, I know Tippa's gonna take over and do the same thing as me, you guys. So I hope you guys all go, but thanks so much for having me come on here and talk to you guys for a little bit. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in Florida, and back to you, Tippa.
All right, all right. Thank you so much for all of that. Drop some ones in the chat for Miss Arabella. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, guys. Now we have something really, really special tonight. And Arabella and I, we were talking, and we've been doing some collaborations lately, with our teams, and we really, really want to, I guess, not just incentivize, but we want to reward the people that are actually moving, the people that are taking this opportunity serious, their own life and their own success serious, and obviously not just being at this event, guys, but if you're really, really about this life, you're not going to come alone. Okay. I am dedicated to bringing as many people to this event as possible because that's what I'm in this business for, right? I'm here to impact lives positively. And this event is just one of the best ways I'm going to be doing it in probably, until the next event comes around. Okay. So now we have came up with something together, which I think is going to be really, really fun. This hasn't been done ever before with this 5 years that I've been in this industry, guys. But how many of you guys have heard of the game show Family Feud? If you have, drop some dollar signs in the chat. If you've ever heard of the game Family Feud. Okay, so this was one of my favorite game shows growing up. And so we were like, man, what is something that we could do where we have some camaraderie being built, we have some collaboration between the teams, and we do something fun without going too crazy. And so we are dropping this campaign, and it's called Feud for Your Seat. Okay. Now imagine you're in this room in this amazing Airbnb. We're elevating your mindset, you're elevating your trading skill set, and you're sitting, at a beachside Airbnb with people who have what you want and are living the life that you want to live. All right, this is going to be a transformational experience. And this game that we are going to be hosting, hey, TP1, let's go. Shout out Arabella. Come on. So this game is going to be a facet, a medium for all of us to be able to come together. So Feud for Your Seats incentive. How does this work? Okay. And every single person, guys, when we talk about if you're locked in for Florida, let's forget about the event ticket. Okay. If you go and get your flights booked, right? Every single person that's on this call, if you get your flights booked, guys, come to me. I'll figure out your event ticket. All right, this is how serious we are about getting as many people there as possible. You're going to be saving at least $100 on the event ticket. So now, the Feud for Your Seat. How does this work? Okay, we are starting brand new, brand new. And in order for you guys, there's only 10 spots in the Family Feud roster. All right. Arabella and we're going to be hosting it. We're going to have top leaders in the company, right? Maybe some educators also. And we're going to have this all recorded, live streamed, and it's going to be amazing for content. It's going to be amazing for collaboration. And for those that want to take advantage of this opportunity, guys, there's different tiers that you can go and lock yourself in at. All right. So now, if you go and once you go and get one extra person locked in, all right, locked in means that they get their flight booked. You actually get to attend trading at Family Feud. Okay. If you get two more guests locked in, right, on your team, doesn't have to be on the team. It doesn't matter. As long as their flights are booked, guys, you get a private trading training in depth, right, in the Airbnb with Arabella, and you get a network marketing blueprint by yours truly. Okay, so this is going to be the real raw blueprint, right? In-depth training that you guys have been looking for. If you're talking about shortcuts, guys, this is going to give you a shortcut. All right, and you're in person, so you get to soak in the information better. And if you get +5 guests, right, or you have 10 total locked in, you have a spot on the Family Feud game show. Okay, there's going to be 2 teams, right? 5 people per team. So there's going to be limited spots, right? Nobody is locked in yet. And all of you guys have the same opportunity to be on this roster. All right. So drop a 1 in the chat if you guys would like to participate in the Family Feud, be a part of the content, right? Have one-on-ones with Matthew Thayer, Joey Wilson. Okay. We're working on the prize for the funded accounts. I'm not going to tell you the amount yet. All right. We're working that out with the leaders. But just know that it's going to be fire prizes and promos that are going to be over there, and just an amazing time in the Airbnb. Okay, guys, I don't know about you guys, but I am fired up. This is going to be the first time we're doing it, and it's going to be really fun. So with that, I hope that you guys do your due diligence on, taking that massive action. If you guys are wondering about how to get those flights booked. Okay, guys, I have a private travel concierge. You don't have to pay any extra, and we will find you the best prices no matter where you're at. If it's whether you're looking to get an Airbnb or get into a hotel, motel, doesn't matter, guys. You just need to be there. Okay. And as long as you guys get these guests locked in, you can join us in the Airbnb. All right. So now I'm going to pass it on to, I'm going to send some more details in the chats later on as well. But just wanted to get you guys on the same page, get you guys aligned, and everybody is off to the races now. I'm sure people are texting people already. But now, next speaker is my brother, Jay Patnode. This individual right here, guys, is not only one of the best traders that I know, but he is a leader who leads by example and is someone who I like to call a servant leader. Okay. This person right here has held me accountable throughout my journey so many times. And guys, I would not have, said like, oh man, screw you if he gave up on me before. Okay. Because I've been difficult to deal with in the past, but he's always believed in me. And that is why I am privileged to be here and pass it off to my brother, Jay Patno. Take the stage. Come on.
Appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. Guys, we're going to wrap it up. I'm just going to give you guys 30 seconds very, very quickly. I just want to show you guys what events do for you. I want to show you my first event with Josh. We had attended back in, I believe, 2020 or 2019. This is us, right? Hitting the $600 a month rank. And obviously you fast forward, all these years later, been blessed to make multiple six figures a year within the industry. But it just shows you guys how important events are. Like anything is possible, but it starts right here, right now. And the decision that you're going to make, or the lack of decision, is going to determine exactly where you guys are in 6 months. So I'm going to close it out by saying, if you truly want to go and elevate your life, change your circumstances, get to those levels that you dream of, and do it way faster than maybe a year, 2 years, whatever it may be, I want you to text your leader or whoever that you work with. I want you to text them FL right now, and they will help you. And I will help you if need be. Find flights, hotels, get everything booked. And if we need to work something out to get you there, we will do that, because that is what leaders do. But with that being said, guys, I want you guys to text them FL right now if you're serious about going. Even if you don't know how you are going to get there, just text FL and we will help you in whatever capacity that we possibly can help you get there. With that being said, I appreciate you all, and I cannot wait to see you guys in Florida. It is going to be an absolute blast. Love you all, and see you soon. Peace.